Hello friends, welcome to Cyber Academy. This is module 9 about AZ-900 Microsoft Azure Fundamentals Real Exam Questions and Concepts. So in this module, I will be providing few more questions, real exam questions and concepts. So let's begin the question. AZ-900 exam question number 131. This question requires that you evaluate the underlying text to determine if it is correct. So questions start from here. You can use advisor recommendations in Azure to send email alerts when the cost of the current billing period for an Azure subscription exceeds a spending limit. Instructions: review the underlying text. If it makes the statement correct, select no change is needed. If the statement is incorrect, select the answer choice that makes the statement correct. So here you need to recommend the solution which the recommendations from the advisor right in Azure. So where it will send the email alerts whenever the cost of the current billing period for an Azure subscription exceeds a spending limit, right? So options we have: no change is needed, B, access control, C, budget alerts, and D, compliance. Here the right answer is C, budget alerts, right? So by using the budget alerts feature, so we can meet the solution here. AZ-900 exam question number 132. You need to view a list of planned maintenance events that can affect the availability of an Azure subscription. Which blade should you use from an Azure portal? So to answer, select the appropriate blade in the answer area. So in the answer area we have right all the resources, management groups, resource groups, marketplace. So these are all the uh, options we have, right? So in that, so which one which we can use to get right? So for the support, so the right answer is here help and support, right? So under the help and support we will be able to get the all the such information from Azure. The right answer is help plus support. AZ-900 exam question number 133. You need to request that Microsoft increase the subscription quota limit for your company. So which blade should you use from an Azure portal, right? So here again, so you need to request that Microsoft increase the subscription quota limit for your company. So how we will communicate, right? So you need to raise this request. So where we can see the in Azure portal means here. So in the Azure portal, under the help plus support, we can raise a support request with Microsoft. So the right answer is help plus support. AZ-900 exam question number 134. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. No. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. So here we have three statements. Let's go to the statement 1. Azure pay as you go pricing is an example of Capex, right? So the options we have yes and no. So under the Capex, so this pricing model will not come, right? Because it's a fixed, right? So it's a upfront we have to pay under the Capex model, capital expenditure. So the right answer is option no. Next statement is paying electricity for your data center is an example of opex, right? So paying electricity for your data center means it's on-premises data, on-premises, right? So this will not come under the operational expenditure. So this will come under capital expenditure. So the right answer is again option no. Third statement, deploying your own data center is an example of capex. So here it's a on-premises, right? So this will be upfront. So you own the cost of the deploying your own data center and managing the data center, right? So the right answer is yes, option yes. AZ-900 exam question number 135. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. So in this statements area, we have 3 statements. Let's go to the statement 1. With Azure reservations, you pay less for virtual machines that with pay as you go pricing. So the options we have yes and no, right? So with the Azure reservations, if you pay less for virtual machines, that means that how much you are using that resource, that much you are paying, right? So the right answer is here option yes. Statement 2, if you create two Azure virtual machines that use the B2S size, each virtual machine will always generate the same monthly cost, right? So you are creating the two Azure virtual machines basically that use the same B2S size. So, but each virtual machine will always generate the same monthly cost. So the options we have yes and no. The right answer is no, because so it will have the base usage base cost, but it is not like a size of the virtual machine. So how much how we are using the resource, right? So based on that, this monthly cost will depends. So the right answer is option no. Statement 3, when an Azure virtual machine is stopped, you continue to pay storage cost associated to the virtual machine, right? So even if you stop the virtual machine, it's saying that you continue to pay storage cost associated to the virtual machine. So the right answer is option yes, right? So you still have to pay the cost which is used for the storage even the virtual machine is stopped, right? So the right answer is yes. AZ-900 exam question number 136. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. So the statements we have, let's go to the statement 1. With a consumption based plan, you pay a fixed rate for all data sent to or from virtual machines hosted in the cloud, right? So options we have yes and no. So here it says the consumption based plan. So consumption based plan means it's a pay as you go, right? So how much you are using, that much only you have to pay. There is no fixed rate for the data sent to or from virtual machine, right? So the right answer is no. Okay, so next statement, with a consumption based plan, you reduced overall cost by paying only for extra capacity when it is needed. So the right answer is here yes, right? So you reduce overall cost by paying only for extra capacity when it is needed. So when you are opting the additional resource, that time only you have to chargeable, that time only Azure that resource will be chargeable. So apart from that, so there will be no additional charges, right? So the right answer is yes. Let's go to the statement 3. Serverless computing is an example of consumption based plan, right? Serverless computing is an example of consumption based plan. The right answer is here option yes, right? Serverless computing is an example of consumption based plan. So it is pay as you go subscription model, right? So the right answer is yes. AZ-900 exam question number 137. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point here. Let's go to the statement 1. The cost of Azure resources can vary between regions. Options we have yes and no, right? So the statement is here, the cost of Azure resources can vary between regions. Right answer is yes. So Azure is charging different pricing model. We have the different pricing model in Azure between the different regions. So the right answer is yes. Next statement, An Azure reservation is used to reserve server capacity at a specific data center. Alright, so there is a Azure reservation service which used to reserve server capacity at a specific data center. So the right answer is again yes. So you can reserve the capacity at a specific any data center. Let's go to the statement 3. You can stop an Azure SQL database instance to decrease cost. Right? So Azure SQL database is a platform as a service which is managed by Azure, so cloud provider. So you cannot stop Azure SQL database to increase or decrease the cost. The right answer is here option no. Right? So the Azure SQL database, it is fully managed by cloud provider. So we will not have the access or privilege to either decrease or increase the cost of the SQL database. So the right answer is no. AZ-900 exam question number 138. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Right? In the answer area, we have the statement. You can use. We have to fill the choose the right option here. In Azure, to send email alerts when the cost of the current billing period for an Azure subscription. The options we have: advisor recommendations, access control, budget alerts, and compliance. Right? So say sending an email alerts under the cost billing cycle. Right? So the right answer is budget alerts. Right? So the right answer budget alerts. AZ-900 exam question number 139. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. No, each correct selection is worth 1 point here. So in the answer area, we have 3 statements. Let's go to the statement 1. Building a data center infrastructure is an example of operational expenditure cost. Right? So building a data center infrastructure is an example of operational expenditure cost. So the right answer is here no. So it is on-premises data center, right? It's an on-premises data center. You are building infrastructure for your organization. So, right? So this will not come under the operational expenditure cost. So that will be capital expenditure model. Next statement. Monthly salaries for technical personnel are an example of operational expenditure cost. So here the right answer is yes. So monthly salaries for any technical personnel, definitely it is an operational expenditure cost, right? So it is not fixed. So the right answer is yes. Next statement. Leasing software is an example of operational expenditure cost. So leasing software, which will come under the software as a service, right? So the right answer is here option yes. So that is fully managed by the cloud provider. So this will come under the operational expenditure cost model. Right? AZ-900 exam question number 140. This question requires that you evaluate the underlying text to determine if it is correct. Statements questions start from here. Resource groups provide organizations with the ability to manage the compliance of Azure resource across multiple subscription. Instructions we have: review the underlying text. If it makes the statement correct, select no changes needed. If the statement is incorrect, select the answer choice that makes the statement correct. Right? So resource group provide organizations with the ability to manage the compliance of Azure resource across multiple subscription. So the options we have: no changes needed, management groups, Azure policies, and Azure app service plan. So the right answer is here Azure policies. So with the Azure policies, we can meet the solution what it is required here. So the right answer is C, Azure policies. AZ-900 exam question number 141. Note, this question is part of series of questions that present the same scenario. Each question in the series contains a unique solution that might meet the stated goals. Some question sets might have more than one correct solution, while others might not have a correct solution. After you answer a question in this section, you will not be able to return to it. As a result, these questions will not appear in the review screen, right? So the questions start from here. You have an Azure subscription named subscription 1. You sign into the Azure portal and create a resource group named RG1. From Azure documentation, you have the following command that creates a virtual machine named VM1, right? So the command is azvm create a resource group rg1-name resource name vm1 image, and then OS type Ubuntu LTS, and -generate -ssh keys. So you need to create a VM1 in subscription by using the command. So how you need to create the subscription VM in subscription, right? So by using the above command. So the solution is here. From Azure portal, launch Azure Cloud Shell and select PowerShell, run the command in the Cloud Shell. So does this meet the goal? Options we have yes and no. The right answer is yes. So in the cloud, right, we have CLI PowerShell, right? So under these command lines, command shell, cloud shells, we can run the this AZ command, so that we can create the VMs in subscription. So the right answer is yes. AZ-900 exam question number 142. The question is same what we have seen in the previous question. The provided solution is here. From the Azure portal, launch Azure Cloud Shell and select bash, run the command in the Cloud Shell. Does this meet the goal? So right answer is here yes. So with the help of bash shell, we can run the AZ command and we can create the VM virtual machine, right? So the right answer is yes. AZ-900 exam question number 143. The question is same what we have seen in the previous questions, but provided solution is here. From a computer that runs on Windows 10, install Azure CLI. From PowerShell, sign into Azure and then run the command. Does this meet the goal? The right answer is yes. So this will also we can use to create a virtual machine in the subscription. The right answer is yes. AZ-900 exam question number 144. The question is same what we have seen in the previous question. Provided solution is here. From a computer that runs Windows 10, install Azure CLI, and from a command prompt sign into Azure, then run this above AZ command, right? So does this meet the goal? The right answer is here yes. So this solution we can meet the goal by using this solution. So right answer is yes. AZ-900 exam question number 145. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. In the answer area, let's go to the statement 1. You can create a resource group inside of another resource group. So the right answer is no, you cannot create a resource group inside another resource group. You can create the resource in the any resource group, but you cannot create one resource group inside of another resource group. Next statement, an Azure virtual machine can be in multiple resource group. The right answer is no. So the right answer is no. Azure virtual machines can be multiple resource group? No. So this will also no. Statement 3. A resource group can contain resources from multiple Azure resources. Right? A resource group can contain resources from multiple Azure regions. Right answer is yes, you can. So the right answer, yes. AZ-900 exam question number 146. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Each correct selection is worth 1 point here. Let's go to the statement 1. Azure resources can only access other resources in the resource group. The right answer is option no. So it is not the way like your resources can only access other resources in the resource group. So the right answer is option no. Let's go to the statement 2. If you delete a resource group, all the resources in the resource group will be deleted. Right? If you delete the resource group, all the resources which we created in the same resource group will be deleted. The right answer is yes. So all resources will getting deleted. Next statement. A resource group can contain resources from multiple Azure regions. Again, the right answer is yes. So resource group can contain resources from multiple Azure regions. Right answer, yes. AZ-900 exam question number 147. Arts, but for which of the following statements select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note here, each correct selection is worth 1 point. So in the answer area, we have 3 statements. Let's go to the statement 1. You can create custom Azure roles to control access to resources. So the options we have yes or no, right? You can create custom Azure roles to control access to resources. The right answer is yes, you can create the roles of the way you want and you can control the access to the particular resources. Let's go to the next statement. A user account can be assigned to multiple Azure roles, right? A user account can be assigned to multiple Azure roles. The right answer is yes. So the user can be mapped to the multiple Azure roles. So yes. Next statement. A resource group can have the owner role assigned to multiple users. So the right answer is no. So we cannot assign the owner role to multiple users for the resource group. So the right answer is option no. AZ-900 exam question number 148. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. In the answer area, we have this statement. When you need to delegate permissions to several Azure virtual machines simultaneously, you must deploy the Azure virtual machines. So here we need to fill the options we have to the same Azure region by using the same Azure resource manager template, to the same resource group, to the same availability zone. Right? So when you need to delegate permissions to several Azure virtual machines simultaneously, so you must deploy the virtual machines that should be available in the same resource group, right? The right answer is to the same resource group. You must deploy the Azure virtual machines to the same resource group. So that's the way you can delegate the certain permissions to the several Azure virtual machines simultaneously. AZ-900 exam question number 149. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point here. So we have 3 statements in the statement area. Let's go to the statement 1. all the Azure resources deployed to resource group must use the same Azure region, right? The options we have yes and no. So what it says, all Azure resources deployed to a resource group must use the same Azure region. So there is no such um, limitation or such restriction in the Azure cloud, right? So we can map the different region for the different resource group. So the right answer is option no. Next statement, if you assign a tag to resource group, all the resources in that resource group are assigned to the same tag, right? So if you tag the resource group, not the resources, all the Azure resources in this resource group are assigned to the same tag. So the right option is here no. So you are giving this tag, defining the tag to the resource group, not to the individual resources. So that will not be applicable to the all the Azure resources under that that resource group. So the right answer is no. Next statement, if you assign permissions for a user to manage a resource group, the user can manage all the Azure resources in that resource group, right? If you assign permissions for a user to manage a resource group, the user can manage all the Azure resources in that resource group, right? The right answer is yes. So you are giving the permissions and that user is going to manage the particular resource group, right? So that they can manage all the resources under that resource group, right? So the right answer is you can manage. So the right answer is yes. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. So this is question number 150. Note each correct selection is worth 1 point. In the answer area, we have 3 statements. Let's go to the statement 1. Adding resource group in an Azure subscription generates additional cost. So the right answer is no. There is no such policy in Azure, right? So adding a resource group in Azure subscriptions, it depends on the subscription model. So Azure will charge. So Azure will not charge a separate additional cost for the adding resource group. So the right answer is no. Next statement, copying 10 GB of data to Azure from an on-premises network over a VPN generates additional Azure data transfer cost, right? Copying 10 GB of data to Azure from on-premises network over the VPN. So that will generate the additional Azure data transfer cost. So the right options we have yes or no, right? So the right answer is here no. So there will be no additional transfer cost here. So the right answer is no. Next statement, copying 10 GB of data from Azure to on-premises network over a VPN generates additional Azure data transfer cost. Right here, Azure to on-premises. You are copying data from Azure to on-premises. So definitely there will be some transfer cost. So the right answer is yes. So Azure data transfer cost will be included in that. So the right answer is yes. So in this, we completed the module 9 on about AZ-900 Microsoft Azure fundamentals, real exam questions and concepts. So if you are new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe, and please provide your valuable comments. Thanks for watching.